What's going on, everybody? Alright, I'm using a different mic today. This is the mic that I use during my live streams. So, we're going to rock with that. This video I wanted to talk about, this is an article from the website, the NLSC. And if you want to, go to the NLSC's website, I usually am on there for the forums, but they usually have like some kind of post or story or article for during different days of the week. So every Friday they'll have the Friday 5, just about every Friday. So we're going to look at the Friday 5 from March 19th, 2021, a few days ago. And this one is 5 old features that could be repurposed. So I already read through this, so I'm not going to read through it all on here. Let's see. It's basically talking about old game features or game modes that would fit perfectly into modern titles. Maybe they would be revamped and repurposed, but they could definitely be used in today's games. So I don't think I'll do all 5 in this video, but I'll start it off with the Pressbook. I don't know if you guys remember the Pressbook. I might do all 5 in this video because it seems like it'll be a short video. The Pressbook. Do you guys remember the Pressbook? Let me see if I can let me go over to YouTube. I'm gonna go to YouTube. I don't know why I didn't just type it in, but I'm gonna go to YouTube and see if I can find the 2K Pressbook, like an example. Okay, here's one from like 8 years ago. Let's take a look at it. Oh man, you can barely see it, so blurry. Let's see. Oh man. Anyway, you can see it's basically like a little slideshow of images that are taken during the game. I gotta find a better version. Oh, here's one. Oh man, come on. It's probably in 240p also. Anyway, it's just a collection of images that are taken during the game, and sometimes they will have like camera angles that you couldn't get in instant replay. So nowadays you got a little bit better camera angles that you can take pictures from, and we can take screenshots from our consoles or PC and immediately upload them to the internet. But back then, this was like a very nice feature to have. Now the art, hold on one sec. Let's see. Like something right there. That's a camera angle you can't really get. But anyway, let's see this one too. Let's go to the article. Pause that. The article. What did he say in the article? It said there's nothing. What? Wait, that means all our screenshot. Blah blah blah. A repurposed Pressbook could provide us with some cinematic angles and screens following an online game. Okay, yeah. So he had talked about it. Andrew, who made this article, he had talked about it in the sense of using it for online games. Now that might be pretty cool. Have some screenshots. It might be pretty cool. Like if it was a few years ago, back in 2K13, if they still would have had the Pressbook, it would have been. I think it would have been more accepted and impressive around that time, 2K13, 2K14. But now we're in like 2K21. I don't think many people would really care for the feature, but this one here, quick pick play. This one I think could be used. Now Andrew talks about using it, like possibly using it in my team, basically this was a feature from NBA Live. Now I gotta admit, I'm gonna take Andrew's word for everything he describes here because I never played this in NBA Live. But basically, like, you're gonna run a quick game. If you wanted to run a quick game, this quick pick play would allow you to pick your team, but then also just pick any players that you want to be on the team without having to go through and create like some kind of custom roster or anything like that. You would just immediately pick whatever players you want on the team. And with 2K having my team, they probably wouldn't even bring anything like this to the game, but I think it would be cool. Anyway, I'm over here eating some cereal, man. I'm killing this cereal. I'm trying not to smack all in the microphone, so let's see. Okay, this is one, I'm gonna come back to that. Cause that's one that I really like. Let's do Legends Pool. I don't think I read through this one. Oh yeah, I did read through this one. The Legends Pool thing would be nice to have a pool. Like we have a free agent pool, have a Legends pool. But I guess I'm not really sure if you really need the Legends pool, since like when you're editing rosters on 2K, you can just use the all players thing. But this article talks about even allowing you to use some of the players that are my team exclusive. That would be cool, but it's not gonna happen. See, historical challenge mode. Now this historical challenge mode, that's something that's probably never coming back to 2K. And as I say that, they probably are working on something for 2K22 with historical challenge mode, just to prove me wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But I just don't see this ever coming back. This was one of the most unique things that any sports game has done. You go and relive like one of the greatest basketball player careers, and accomplish their feats in the forms of challenges. It was dope. And it was Michael Jordan. And at the time, we hadn't really seen any legendary player like just focused on so much in any kind of sports game. Not like this. I mean, a complete mode to Jordan. I mean, by now, this was back 10 years ago. By now, we're kind of accustomed to having Jordan in NBA 2K, but back then, it was completely different. It was like spectacular. If you go back and watch NBA 2K11 intro, let me see if I can find it. It actually is. Yeah. This intro was crazy. I remember I bought this game on Xbox 360, I think. And the first time I played it, let me see, it loaded up. Came with these crazy, had the deep voice, these nice graphics. And then, where is it? Let me see. It had this. And then it's just Michael. Had this right here, you right behind Jordan in the tunnel. He says, "Are you ready?" And then you guys run out to the court. This was crazy. Now, in my career, they have you running through the tunnel. It's been 10 years, though, since we saw somebody running through the tunnel. And now you can do it in my career, but this was crazy for the time. And then look at the intro, like, look at this. Just dope. But Gotta imagine 10 years ago that was a lot more impressive. Anyway, let me go back to the Friday 5. The historical challenge mode, I just don't think it's coming because they had a chance to do it when Shaq was on the cover. They had a chance to do it when, this year Kobe was on the cover, and they just haven't done it. And this would have been the year to really do it, with next gen coming in, Kobe on the cover, especially you're honoring Kobe, and they didn't do it. They really dropped the ball, so I don't think they'll ever do it again, and that's fine. All right, so last but not least, this is one of my favorite roster exporting. Now, Andrew talks about how let's see, NBA Live 96 PC. He says you can only export one roster file. Let's see. He says Fox Sports NBA Basketball 2000 allow multiple export roster saves, but this was also available in NBA 2K. I think it was available in 2K9, but for sure it was available in 2K10 for sure. Because I would play through the association mode, which is what the franchise mode was called back then. And anytime, like, it's basically what became my league and now my NBA. Like, I would go through the franchise mode, get me a championship team or a really good team that I liked, and then I would export that team just so I could always have them and play with them. But I would even sometimes just export my team. Well, I remember I had the Pacers one time in 2K10, and this is before John Wall got drafted. So in the game, I had Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Garnett, Danny Granger, all on the Pacers. And then I ended up drafting John Wall. And I think I somehow still had Paul George. I got Paul George in that same draft for John Wall. This was a user-created draft. I don't know how I got both of those picks, but got John Wall and Paul George on the bench. That was a good team. But just imagine being able to export that roster and use it in play now against a friend, or quick game against a friend or something like that. That's pretty dope. Against their little My League or my NBA team that they use, without them having to create your team or without you having to create their team. It was fun. Also, if we had this today, since we had to create the jerseys, like, this would allow us to basically do something like create a college roster that we could use on Play Now without having to do it from a modding standpoint. So we would be able to do it on console, and we wouldn't have to go into my NBA or my league to do it. But anyway, these were all 5 of these were pretty decent ideas. You guys let me know what you guys thought about the article if you want to read it. I'm going to leave the link down in the description. I know this mic probably went in and out with the volume. This isn't really that great of a mic, but here's what it is. Anyway, you guys should check out NLSC. Again, they do have different articles from time to time, as well as they post like new mods that you can download and stuff like that people have created. I'm gonna have to look at some of these other articles, talk about those maybe another time. But anyway, that's all I got for this one.